Hello everyone, good morning and welcome back to the Glassman's World. Sorry about all the movement here. Just getting situated and about to get started here. So, I've been working on these the original $5 mushrooms, which if you ever go to Facebook, you can go and find the page for the original $5 mushroom. And it's something that I figured out how to do with my with Facebook. You know, you can have different pages and different groups and things like that. And so what I've done is I've basically taken my glass, which is known as Gardunio glass. I'm known as the Glass Man. This page here is known as the Glassman's World. And I've taken my glass, my name, I've turned my name, the Glass Man, into all one word in quotations, which has become a key word, a key phrase, which helps to find me, to identify me, to search me on Google searches and other online search engines. And so there's specific reasons why I've done all this, and why I want to talk about this today. So um, in recent times, you know, a lot of times, and in recent days, I'm gonna get started working here, and I'm just gonna talk. But you know, I'm on Facebook quite often. I'm on YouTube a lot more often, and I'm also on Nextdoor.com very often. I utilize these for all different things. You know, YouTube, we're here right now where we do live demonstrations, and I basically do live chit chats, live talks, live sharing stories, or whatever this is. I don't know. It's the real deal, real talk with the Glass Man, right? This is the Glass Man's World, and it's whatever I choose to share with you guys. This is my world, and so if I feel like I need to share this with you, or I want to share it with you, or I would like to share it with you, then I probably will. And you don't have to watch it, you don't have to stay here. But today I'd like to talk about business marketing, Business Marketing 101, social media sales, and marketing and strategies, and different things. What I notice when I'm on a lot of these sites, especially on Nextdoor.com. On Nextdoor, there's a lot of individuals who, I guess you would call them Karens, right? And they do a lot of complaining. And then you've got these individuals who are always looking for work. Now, that's what I've done. I've utilized Nextdoor.com for finding side jobs and helping out the neighbors in our community. And I started using Nextdoor, I don't even know when I started my account, but probably by 2015, like at least 10 years ago, maybe even longer, I was already utilizing it and finding different side jobs. You know, I was able to post up one day. Basically, a marketing tool is just posting up your services. So I was offering, you know, the thing with business is you create or find the problem solution path. So you either figure out what problem do people have, or you create a problem, or point out a problem that people don't even realize they're having, right? Like, oh, I don't know, like what kind of problem do people have all the time? I don't know, but we don't have to go into examples. But, you know, like, people are always sharing things out and posting up stuff. And so I started to utilize it in a way of I posted up my services. One of the things, like when you're marketing yourself, you want to let people know who, what, when, where, why, how, right? Pretty much. It's always those things: who, what, when, where, why, and how, right? Who are you? What services are you offering? Why do people need these services? And the why is probably like this, like, hey, do you have leaves in your yard that you need help picking up? There's the problem. You're pointing out a problem and you want to create the solution for them, right? I can do it for you at a reasonable rate, right? At a competitive rate, at the highest rates in the state. Like whatever you want to do, at the lowest prices. Like, what is it that then sets you apart? Are you poignant, always on time, early, easy to work with, an amazing listener, get the job done right all the time? You have 100% retainability with previous clients. They always want to hire you back. Like, what is it that sets you apart and your service or products from everyone else? So you basically let people know who, what, when, where, why, and how. It's what everyone needs to know. So who you are, what you're offering, why is the problem, why do people need you, right? That's the problem. And how's it going to happen? Contact you, how do they need to message you, contact you, give you a call? Are you going to leave your number? Are you going to leave your address? You're going to let them come to you? You're going to set up appointments with them? Are you going to go to them? How is it going to work? So the whole who, what, when, where, why, and how, where, the location, right? You got to find out where the location is, where you're going to be meeting up, or how this is going to work, how the transaction is going to happen, right? And being that you're offering a service, you always want to make sure you have your rates set and established. You want to know your bottom line, what's the lowest minimum that you want to make on a job, on per hour, on a sale, whatever it is, and what is the highest that you think you can ask. What is the highest asking price? What is a medium in between? And then usually you can make pretty good sales from there, from those strategies. So what I notice on nextdoor.com, and I'm noticing this a lot lately, and I know that people are they're really, really like stressing out. People are extremely stressed out. They don't know what to do. They're losing their jobs, they're losing their employment, losing their disability benefits, losing whatever it is. Their income is not coming in. They've lost their homes, or whatever it is, they lost their jobs. People then start going on to Nextdoor and they're like, hey, I am desperately in need of making this amount of money by this time. Is anyone looking for any work that needs to be done, right? And so what they're doing is they're stating their problems, and the solution is for you to hire them. But why? Why are you going to hire them? What sets them apart from the rest? And one thing that happens is it seems to be a turnoff. It's kind of like when a panhandler walks up to you and you're about to pull up to the gas pump, right? And you got to go walk up to the cashier, and so as you're walking up, you see that person's looking at you. They know that you got money because you're about to go in and purchase gas or purchase something, and they're going to ask you for money, and you either going to tell them yes or you're going to tell them no, right? And a lot of times people are turned off by that, because there's so much of that happening all the time to us, and it's not very attractive. It's not a way of being able to attract clients and customers properly. And so I've noticed this a lot on nextdoor.com, and I do my best to offer solutions rather than just like help people stay in their problems. I'm always just trying to help people out and create solutions and trying to just help them with this and with that or whatever needs to be done. It's why I am hired constantly to do side work and jobs and things like that. And I have clients that I've retained or they've retained me for several years now. And maybe they don't need me all the time. I have some regulars that are weekly regulars. Some of my weekly regulars just let me go for the winter because there won't be any yard jobs or landscaping that'll need to be done until springtime when it gets warm again. However, we are in an extremely warm season right now where we've got record highs in our region here in Albuquerque. So I know that they're probably going to have some weeds growing still and different plants that may need to be trimmed and things like that. So I'm not really too concerned. I know that I can find other jobs on the side through Nextdoor by simply posting up the services that I offer and at the rates that I offer them at, and let them know my availability, and that's it. Like, I don't go into, hey, I'm really, really stressed out that, the bills might not get paid this month, and trying to like work on rent, and I'm like worried about Christmas and Christmas gifts and gotta get this and gotta get that, and still haven't been able to find certain things, and like all this stuff. Like, I don't want everyone to know the daily stress that I'm going through. All I want them to know is that I'm a good hard worker. These are the services I offer. I'm, like you guys know, I'm a glass artist, but on the side I offer to do yard work, landscaping, house cleaning, car wash detailing, where I can wash the outside and do a vacuum and a simple wipe on the inside. All of these services I offer at $30 an hour. And I have regular clients that I have to schedule myself around. So it's based upon my availability and not theirs. If it doesn't work out, then I know they can find someone else, because there's so many others who are always posting up that they need work, they're looking for work, they're so stressed out that they're trying to make this and that by this time, and they're always posting up their problems. And the solution is that you have to hire them. Rather than just posting up and marketing what you offer, simple, just let people know, hey, this is what I do. These are the rates I do it. Right now, it's holidays. I'm offering some discounts, like for glass right now. I market myself and promote myself every year around this time for Christmas. Buy one, get one free. All the time. So if you're a supporter, if you know me and you know my glass and you know this and you know that some of the best times to purchase is during Christmas. If you ever want to get any glass from me, the best time to get it would be right now, right? Because then you get buy one, get one free. Another thing that I do is anytime that there's a child, a minor, who comes up and purchases anything from me, usually like small children, sometimes it's hard to tell with the older teens and younger adults, but with the younger kids, I always offer a buy one, get one free if they're using their own money. Once I see them like pulling out their wallet, they're not using their parents' money, I'm like, oh. And because you're spending your own hard-earned money, it's your allowance, or you maybe you're doing like a paper route, or like when I first started working, I think I was only like 12 or 13 years old. I had a paper route, and then I did a few different jobs. The paper route. I've sold subscriptions door to door to the newspaper. I think it was like right in California when I was 13. I had a paper route. We moved out here to Albuquerque, And then I started selling subscriptions. Maybe I tried to get a paper route, and they were like hiring for the subscriptions, I guess. And then, by like, I remember I'd go visit my sisters in California, and she was working with a tow company, and I was able to do some tow jobs working with the tow truck company. That was probably when I was 15 years old. Started working at fast food places and things like that. Figuring out how to earn and make money. So I started doing that at a young age. And then I figured out that, if you buy certain things in bulk, you can then sell them. So we figured out things back in the day on how to buy in bulk and sell things. And then once I got into working with my own businesses, like, then I got into making Fimo clay and making I was making Fimo clay and Sculpey and all kinds of stuff. Hemp jewelry. And I was making macrame necklaces, making the beads. And then I'd go out to different fairs, like 420 events or different smoke-ins, or wherever there were different events, music, concerts, and I would just take my jewelry with me and would sell it. I figured out how to purchase juice in a gallon, right? I think it was like the Tampico juice, right? And you buy that in a gallon. You get a couple gallons of that. You get a clean ice chest or a cooler, right? And you get yourself some bottles of, what did we use? It wasn't Sprite. It wasn't 7-Up. I think it was Fanta. No, it wasn't. It was, I don't remember what it was. It was some kind of a tangy, I don't remember what it was that we used. But we would mix it so you'd get the nice bubbly with the fruit punch. And we would sell cups of that, like a lemonade stand, and you just sell cups of that and have your macrame beads all ready to go. That was a pretty cool, simple way of doing things. Just have the ice cooler all nice and clean. And then once I got into glass blowing, before that I was an artist. I used to draw, I used to paint, I used to play with like clay, and I used to do the beads, the macrame beads. I did a Fimo bead, so I sold a lot of beads, a lot of Fimo, Sculpey. I did a lot of clay. I used to know how to make the little slices, the little pictures, the millefiori. And used to do that in clay, which now I know how to do that in glass because of the clay. So, I've always evolved my skills. I've always expanded myself by learning new things, new tricks, trying to figure out different things. Before I was a glass blower, I got into making gold and silver somehow. I've always been a jeweler, guys. Like right now I'm making jewelry. I've always been a jeweler. Even when I was younger, I used to make those friendship bracelets with the, what is that, nylon string, the colorful string, and you would just tie them in knots. I never did figure out how to tie people's names into knots, but I know you can do that. I think that's really cool. And, I've always been a jeweler. I remember like way back, it's like, oh yeah, I used to make those and sell them. Sold them for like, I don't know, $2 or $5. It's really cool because my daughter's been making all kinds of jewelry and stuff like that, and I just see how that's how I got started as a jeweler back in the day, just making friendship bracelets and stuff. So, being an artist my whole life and being a jeweler for most of that time, I've uh, I've pretty much stayed in that dynamic, just with different mediums. And so now I'm into doing glass and getting a lot of glass. Good morning. Is a caregiver here today? Okay. So, sorry, my wife came in to say good morning. So, you know, I don't know what I was saying. I was a jeweler, I guess, and somehow got into making the silver and the gold, and that got me into torch work, and somehow my life led into this. And it's amazing that I started out from back then with making jewelry and just been a jeweler pretty much my whole life. And I like realized that recently. I'm like, whoa, I'm not just a glass blower. I'm not just an artist. Like I've been a jeweler most of my life. Like I've painted some things, but all those paintings I kept them all to myself until I lost them all in a storage, and then it was just all gone and done. All of my drawings, all of my paintings, everything like that. I don't believe I have any or too much of them. I've dabbled in all kinds of different things. Etch-a-sketch art, which is one of the most amazing arts that I can do. It's really awesome. Hey, good morning. I'm blowing glass. And I gotta take Luna to school in a little bit.
Yeah, but I made these ones.
Oh, those are your new Legos?
Yeah.
You did those last night? We'll see.
Oh, I did this one once.
The day before?
Yeah, I
I
did
did
this
that
one.
one last night.
No, it's the opposite.
Oh, you did that one today.
No, I didn't do that one today. That one was yesterday.
Oh, you did that one yesterday and did that one the day
Yesterday.
before. Oh, okay, cool.
I did this one's yesterday, then after yesterday. That's what I call after yesterday.
After yesterday. Okay, I get it. The day before. It means after yesterday. So, sorry, that was my son coming to say good morning and show me his Lego builds. He's got a cool calendar, advent calendar for Christmas, and it's Legos, which his mom got him, which is awesome. So every day he gets to do a little mini Lego build with them, and they're pretty cool. But yeah, like I was saying, for my whole life I've been a jeweler, I've been an artist, but I never was able to sell like my drawings, my paintings, nothing like that. It wasn't until I got into glass, and it was just some random way. Like I didn't look into like, hey, I want to be a glass blower. Like it was never anything I ever dreamed of. It just fell into my lap. I've been blessed by God in my life, even though my life hasn't been like the greatest and all these ups and downs, and I've never made like enough money to like really be able to get ahead in life and own my own things and stuff like that. But then at the same time, there's a certain freedom attached to that. I don't have a bunch of debt on my credit cards like most people do, because I've never even had a credit card. I don't even have a bank account right now. So there's certain freedoms that I exist in and somehow can thrive in this way. So all of this, what I'm talking about, it's not even advice. It's just stuff that I like have learned, and I may not even apply it. It's just stuff that I know, and I'm just wanting to share, because I see so many individuals who simply just post their their problems, and the solution is to just hire them. That's their solution. But what is it? What is the problem that you want to help your clients? What is the service? And so, um, I see these posts all the time, and I saw a friend recently who just posted up today or sometime soon. Just I don't know, could have been last night or yesterday or I don't know. I think it was today or sometime really recent. And he's talking about you know his his scenario and how he's having a hard time with getting the right following and getting the people to support his new works, that he thinks he's got this amazing product. And my advice is the same advice that I've been, and I comment back on people when I see these posts. I'm like, hey, why not try to just share your services that you're offering and your rates, and just don't let people know about the problems. Don't attach that, because then people are like, well, do I really want to hire this person? Because then they might come over, and like a lot of people are so concerned about getting strangers to their homes already, and then you're telling them that you're struggling with money, and like they're worried like that you might try to rummage through their home and look for money or steal some rings and try to like come up in that way. So it scares people off. That's one thing that you have to understand. You don't want to come off as an online panhandler. But then again, it works for some people. There's a lot of I have a playlist on here. I have dozens and millions of playlists on YouTube, probably some of the best playlists on YouTube. I don't promote them enough. I don't market them and promote them enough. You know, like I said, I know a lot of what you should do and how you can do it and this and that. I've learned about marketing 101, SEO strategies, how to build a problem solution path, how to do sideways sales and email sales and product launch ventures and all these different things. I've learned so much in it. But I personally just kind of do my own whatevers, but utilizing these kind of tricks and tactics still a little bit here and there, but not really like, I'm not even monetized. That's something that most people can do to make money. I've got over 1,000 followers here, and I am not monetized. I got what, 1,200, 1.2K, something like that. I'm not monetized. I don't make money by doing these videos and offering anything that any of my experiences. That's all it is. It's not advice. This is just my own experiences. And so when I tell these people these things, I'm simply just advising or suggesting. I don't give advice. I just suggest to people. Sometimes I make strong suggestions. But, I just make suggestions like, hey, why not stay away from your problems and just focus on their problems, and you create their solutions. Just focus on posting up your services and the prices and rates that you offer them at. Just keep on posting, right? Like that, was it Dory? She gets lost. She just keep swimming, just keep swimming. You just keep posting, just keep posting, just keep posting, just keep posting. Just keep posting and sharing, posting and sharing. But don't share all these doom posts, the doom and gloom and the woe is me's and all of that stuff. Share that you have a solution, that you are the solution to their problem. You are the solution to the problem solution path. And if they take the path with you, that they're going to be going in the proper direction to get their problems resolved accurately, in a timely, decent manner, and for a good rate, competitive rate. Don't sell yourself short. Make sure you know your value and your worth. If you're like on point and precise, you can ask the highest rates, and people will pay them because they love your service, they love your work, they love having you around, they love your energy, they love just having you around and being there, and they know that they can trust you. They can even leave you in their home without them being there. They can leave you in their yard and not worry. Maybe even their dogs can get used to you and become friends, and and they just can trust you 100%, knowing that they could leave money on the table and that money is going to be there, you know? And that's what people want to pay for. They want to pay for being able to trust that the service that you provide is what you say that you're going to provide at the rate, and you're not going to like be all willy-nilly and try to like upcharge them like, oh, well, I didn't know it was going to be this or that. Like, you want to make sure you let them know and become forthright with everything in the beginning, and let people know, hey, this is what I do. I don't do this though. Like a lot of people, they ask me to do yard work and landscaping, and then you get people who are like, hey, can you come inside and do this and do that? And I do. I can do certain handyman repairs and things, and I know the stuff that I will and can do, and the stuff that I definitely am not going to touch. I don't do electrical. Now, I can do some electrical. I don't want to do hot wires in the walls and things like that, but if you got a lamp that just needs to be rewired or something like that, and I can simply just get a plug and splice it on and call it a day, I can do that, you know? But I don't offer those services. It's just people then ask because they somehow just know or figure that I'm pretty handy with how I do things, and they just, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? And I don't have to tell them yes, and they don't ever take it personal if I can't do something for them. And if I can't do stuff, then maybe I'll even ask like, well, if I can't do it, if I can't make the glass that you're looking for, let me try to find someone that I know, that I trust, that maybe I've even worked with before, and I don't even have to work with them before. Just someone that I trust, someone that knows their work, and I'll send them right you to them to you, and make sure that you get what you're looking for. There's people who ask if I can repair things all the time, and I tell them no, I'm not set up to do repairs. I don't really have the proper tools to do big repairs and things. My kiln is a regular kiln that most people will use for ceramics and firing things like that, which you can also use it for glass too. I have a top loading kiln and not a garage door kiln where you can load it from the side. Getting things out from the side of a kiln is a lot easier and not as hot as putting your hands in the depth of a kiln when it's at like, close to 1,000 degrees. It gets dangerous and it's extremely hot, and I don't like to do that. And then it's risking me dropping things and stuff, and so I tell people I can't do that. So you want to make sure that you're very clear on the services you offer and what you don't, and also be clear on other things too. Like I saw a post the other day where or maybe it was even this morning, where someone was saying how their client got upset with them because they took a lunch, and he called them back to get back to the job, and they got back right away on time and did the job and finished up the job, but they had never had anyone do that before. And my question was, well, was the lunch established? Did you let your client know that you will take a lunch in a few hours or at a certain specific time? Or did you just decide, oh, you want to eat? I'm hungry too, let's go eat, and then just left and didn't even tell your client where you were going? Did you just let your client think that you guys weren't coming back to finish the job? Like, communication is key. Communication goes a really long way. When you just let people know what it is that you're offering, what services you're offering, and what it is that you don't do. You just clarify things, you let people know, and there should never be any sort of issues. You know, they don't have to agree and go along with any services or any rates unless they want to, right? They can always find another person. They can always get a second opinion. You can always tell them no and be like, no, this job is way too big, and not, I do not want to work with all this cactus. I'm not going to dig up this big old tree trunk. You know, the other day I was helping one of my regular clients that I have every week, and she has me doing all kinds of odds and end jobs, right? So many things. I can run errands for her. I've, borrowed her vehicle and run it to this place and that place for her, dropped off things at the post for her, returned items that needed to go back in shipping, taking care of the cats, making sure that the litter's cleaned, and making sure that the cats have shade when it's summertime, and pulling weeds, and cleaning bird baths, and cleaning windows, and sweeping and mopping, and doing dishes, and doing laundry, and doing deep cleans in the washer machines, all kinds of different stuff. And so last week she had me cutting down or trimming back the branches, and heavily trimming it back, the branches to this little baby tree that's about to grow, that she's hoping, well, maybe she can just keep it short like a little shrub. I'm like, well, good luck with that. It's a tree. But, she's she's she keeps on talking about how, it may be her time soon, and so I'm just letting her, whatever she wants, we just make sure she's happy, right? I really don't want to see her transition out anytime soon. She's a really nice individual. Uh, I consider her a friend, and it'd be sad to see her go. But she's invited me into her life and to help her with many things, and so I was cutting back the tree, and right away a neighbor comes, someone that I know from nextdoor.com. Through other things, I don't think I've ever done yard service for this individual. And she came over and asked, "Oh, you're now doing trees, huh?" I'm like, well, not really. I'm just doing this tree for her because she's one of my clients, my regulars. So I just do this and that. But I was like, but what do you have? What's going on? And so she pointed to this really large, like, I don't know, 50, 80-foot tree. I'm just like, you need an arborist. I am not the tree guy. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can do that for you. But maybe I can find someone for you. So I'm going to try to find someone for her still. I used to know someone, but he's no longer in the tree service. But he probably knows someone who's taken over his clients, and I can probably find someone for her. So I like to, if I can't do it for you, at least let me try to help. But I shouldn't even feel obligated to do so, and please don't obligate me to do so when I'm just trying to simply help. But marketing and social media is extremely important. You definitely want to share, post, post, post. I know sometimes, like on Facebook, most people on Facebook are just, it's all about socializing and posting up their accomplishments or their problems or their issues or their new relationships or their new events and promotions. And, a lot of times Facebook for me is all about promoting our events, where we're going to be, and then sharing news and information out to the general public. I utilize my profile in kind of like a newscast sort of way, and just share out a lot of different things that I find is extremely important that everyone may benefit from knowing. Like when they had the government shutdown and all this stuff was going on with EBT and things, I was talking about that. There's a lot of different stuff that goes on that I share and I talk about. But part of utilizing Facebook and these different places like X, Twitter, Instagram, getting onto things like Patreon. There's so many other different places. Like there's Odyssey, and there's um, Stumble, and Rumble, and uh, gosh, there's a lot of different ones. So many new ones out there, and I've got them all, and I don't utilize them all. It's a lot to do. You know, it's one thing that my friend was mentioning was how he's not very good at being online and being social and talking to a camera. Like he's like, I'm just sitting here talking to a camera. It just feels so weird. And it is weird. And you have to kind of get used to talking to yourself, keeping the conversation going with only you there, knowing that even though there may not be anyone watching right now, there will be soon. And there will be later. And there will be for years to come if you keep the video up and running, right? So you have to make sure that you keep it entertaining, you keep the conversation going, whether, you know, you can, or like, that's the thing, is some people are meant to be able to do this kind of stuff and just be able to talk. For some reason, I can do that. I can simply just go and go and go. When my friend told me about Facebook Lives, and I was like, oh, we do Facebook Lives? All right, cool. Let's just blow glass and talk to people and talk about life and spirituality and all kinds of different cool stuff, right? I had hundreds and like close to thousands of people watching me at times. And then somehow Facebook changed their algorithms and then limited everyone and put everyone into these social media bans and getting everyone into Facebook jail and all this stuff, and now my algorithm is screwed and I'm being shadow banned, and there ain't no one really seen me. But it's all right, because I know that no matter what, eventually someone's going to watch this, and I got to keep the conversation going. So I understand that he may not be good at that, and it takes practice, you know. Maybe I got it from doing my demos and just being able to simply talk, even though I don't know if anyone's watching me. If I don't, you know, like when I'm wearing my glasses and I'm looking at the flame, I can't really look up at the crowd around me. So if I'm doing a live demonstration in front of a crowd, I'm just simply going to be stating what I'm doing. And that may also bring more people in, because as they're walking by, they might hear me talking about what I'm doing and be like, oh, he's actually doing this live right now. And then they come and they watch, and, you know, that's another thing, is showing what you do. You got to prove yourself out, prove your services out, and let people know what you can and can't do. So utilizing things like YouTube and making shorts, making videos, it's an extremely important way of being able to market yourself and get yourself out there. It's what I've figured to do. I do a lot of utilizing Facebook here. Sorry, YouTube here. That then I share out to Facebook. And then I can get out to my other different places, because then I have a link that I can share. And pretty much here it's been nice, because YouTube is set up as a video platform, and they have so many servers that I don't know if they're ever going to like start doing what Facebook recently did, which was they started to delete all of our live videos. So everything that we ever shared, all the stuff on, like, you know, we maybe shared out like spending time with family and friends and Christmas and, you know, all these events, you know, your kid's graduation and all this. And if you don't pull it off Facebook before they delete it, they started deleting all live videos starting last June of 2025 of this year in June. And any videos that are 30 months older from that point on get deleted. And so once you put a live up, it's gone within 30 days. So you only have it up in your platform for 30 days. So now it's all about just sharing the quick commercial, just the quick thing that you just know is going to be gone. So you want to be able to just stay with the times and realize, well, that's how it's going to be. So Let's not share anything that I want to stay attached to. Don't give out too much of your intellectual property rights, right? Make sure that you're going to somehow get paid in some way. I'm always sharing my stuff out because I know that then this is going to help sell these. Just having these in the background, the original $5 mushroom, which you can find on Facebook on the pages. I've got like 30 different pages that brand out everything from The Glass Man, Gardunio Glass Studios, One Drop Studio, which was focused on the drop of water, which is another one. And I also do glass jellyfish jewelry, and I also do Gardenia glass straws, and I do sealed with love memorial glass, and I can keep on going. I have 30 different pages, and several of those pages, at least 10 of them, are probably all based and focused on glass work, and me being the glass man. I'm a performer, I'm a musician. I use the stage name The Glass Man in quotations, one word. So the and glass man has no space, all one word, because that's a key word. It's a key phrase. So when you put that into Google searches or any sort of um, search engine, you will be able to find me across many different platforms with my glass, my music, all the different pages, and all the different promotions. It's a strategy. It's a marketing strategy that I utilized many years ago. I figured it out. I was like, oh, I just need to do this. Change it up. Anytime you look up Dan the Glass Man, and I wrote it without the quotes and with the space in between it, and you find all these other individuals who make glass, and they install windows in cars and in homes, and or they make stained glass, and all these other different Dan the Glass Mans all over the place. But there isn't any Dan the Glass Man's where the Glass Man is one word and in quotations besides me. So this is a keyword, a key phrase. This is search engine optimization, SEO. Search engine optimization is all about making sure that all your information is all correct, that you have your name, all the different, the name that you use for branding yourself out. I have way too many. I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to brand myself out when I have so many different multiple type of products coming from one brand. It's like being like I'm basically like Mattel, and I'm creating Barbies, and I'm creating Hot Wheels, and I'm creating like all these different toys, right? Is all these different brands underneath one manufacturer. So Gardenia Glass is the manufacturer. I'm the artist. There's so many different entities all within in one different realm. You got the original drop of water, or the original $5. You got glass jellyfish jewelry sitting side by side. Two separate products made by the same manufacturer, made by the same artist. And it's just me. But it's the way that I've branded things out that I've figured out that I can then keep things separated. So if I want to only promote my jellyfish, then I can send people to my glass jellyfish, what is it called? Glass jellyfish jewelry on Facebook. And I can send people like from the Albuquerque Biopark at the Albuquerque Aquarium and let them know, hey, this is where you can find my jellyfish. For my glass balloons, for anyone who's involved in hot air ballooning and wants to have their balloons replicated, then I send them to glass balloons. That way all the messages stay in one place. I don't lose them. They don't get all jumbled up with each other. And these are just simple strategies that I've figured out. It's not even true in real ways on how businesses should be working. Like most people are running Odoo. They're using an ERP system, an enterprise resource planning system, ERP system, a management system that's so robust it can handle everything from your inventory to your HR, employee payroll, your fleet management, if you have vehicles, product reordering, pre-orders, inventory, keeping track with your CRM, your customer relations management, your CRM, um, making sure that you have your contact list. Contact lists are extremely important. It's why they always have the sweepstakes. Win $1,000. Just enter your email, right? And then they got you. They got your email, and now you're in their contact list. And then they just send you a sale. They send you a product launch, some kind of thing in the email. And if you're interested, you'll buy. And if you're not interested, you won't even open it, right? And they don't care because they're sending out these by the millions. They've got a huge mass mailer, right? Like some people buy these other mass mailers, but you can just get it straight up through Odoo. I don't even do Odoo anymore. I don't even have Odoo. I'm not even working for Odoo. I don't even like, I just know Odoo because I worked with it and I know how robust their system is. And it's amazing because you can also build a website there. I know how to build websites. That's another thing that I do on the side that I don't even offer. And I should probably be. I could probably make a ton of money making people's websites and just helping them to manage it, you know, especially if they got a Wix site, because I know Wix and I know FreeWebs or the webs.com websites. I know those really well, and I can build people's pages. But a lot of it also has been so advanced lately, and the new AI is taking over, and I haven't learned any of that. So it's kind of like the new age kids are coming in, and I'm falling behind right now on some of that. So I need to like freshen up and learn some AI strategies and advances. Like I said, you always want to relearn and keep on re-advancing yourself to keep on knowing more and doing more, right? Understanding that social media is key to this, and if you can't do it yourself, then you're going to have to find a social media manager, a marketer, someone who's going to be able to promote you and do this kind of stuff for you instead of waiting for someone else to do it for free or not hiring anyone at all. But with that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go because I got to get my daughter to school, and then I gotta go do one more job, I think, for one of my clients. It'll probably be the last job, maybe. We're also going to see if this giant tomato is going to continue growing through the winter with our ridiculously unseasonable weather here with the high temperatures in the winter time. It's almost winter, guys. I believe at what, Sunday will be winter solstice. So happy winter solstice to you all. Thanks for listening. That's a few of my experiences with learning about all this stuff, and I hope that it can help you guys. I know I didn't touch on all the different topics on marketing and social media sales. I just know that the trick is to just keep posting your services, your rates, what sets you apart from the rest, and then also share, share, share. Just keep sharing, just keep sharing, just keep sharing, just keep sharing. And with that being said, please share this video out, hit that like button, and I'm gonna let you guys go. It's been a wonderful day. We got to get some more glass made. I got a bunch of colors now that I can add to my inventory because I got to keep manufacturing, keep things going. With that being said, you guys have a beautiful day. I'm out. Thanks for watching.